guys, welcome back to my channel and another Topic Tuesday here. Today I just have a bunch of little stuff to show you for this topic, so I figure we'll just do a top-down video. The topic for today is, have you ever bought a stamping plate for just one image all by itself? Did you pick out a stamping plate just because of one image? And I honestly, personally, felt very attacked by this topic. I know it's wasteful to buy a whole plate for just a single image. I don't think I'm as bad about this now, but very early on, I was like, oh, that one specific image, I'll figure out how to work it into the rest of my manicure. And I think it was really easy to do back when these little circle plates were really popular, because if you look at these, the designs on them are not as typically cohesive as something like Maniology does, where you kind of have an entire theme, but I still have done it with those Maniology plates. I mean, I have a little stack of 9 here, so I'm just going to show you the plates that I bought for one image, and we'll go from there. I'll talk about it. So let me start off with these circle plates, and I'm going to zoom you in so you guys can see the images better. Now, early on, I bought a lot of these circle plates, and I think this is from a brand called QAQ Girl. I don't know. I don't know what that brand is. I don't even remember buying this, but I remember I bought it specifically because of this cursor here, and secondary all this other stuff, but specifically the cursor, because I really like the vaporwave aesthetic, and I was like, oh, that'll be perfect to incorporate into a vaporwave manicure. But that was back when I had 0 plates, almost no plates. So this was the only vaporwave type stuff I really had. Now I have a bunch, and guess what? Still have not used this plate. I should incorporate this in with some of my other vaporwave stuff that I have. Use some of these cursors. I think it would be perfect. I just forget that I have these little plates. That's the problem with having a bunch of different shapes and sizes and brands, is sometimes I just forget I have other ones outside of my Maniology plates, because those are the ones I use the most frequently. The next one I bought for one image specifically was this Bundle Monster plate, and I actually bought it for this image up top. It's blood drips, I thought, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be really cool. But it turns out they just look kind of weird, and I can just hand do that with a dotting tool. So I never used that specific image. However, I did use this origami crane right here, and I will pop up a picture of the manicure on the screen, because I did do little decals with it, and I took some pictures because I was really proud of it, and I just wanted to show it off, because I had just finished, or I just started the third Sembazuru that I was making. I'm still working on that one, but I have made 2 before. I don't know why I keep making these, don't ask. And for those of you who don't know, it's just a string of 1,000 paper cranes. If you've ever read the story Sadako and the 1,000 Paper Cranes, you'll understand the significance of it. But yeah, that's why I did that manicure. And then the last little circle plate I bought for one image was another Bundle Monster. This is, by the way, Bundle Monster is what Maniology rebranded from. So Maniology used to be Bundle Monster. And I bought this specifically for this fingerprint looking one, because I thought, oh, for Halloween I could do some bloody fingerprint type nail art and just stamp red fingerprints onto my nails. And then I was like, wait, I already have fingerprints. I could literally just put some red paint on my nails and then just do that. And I just also, it fits, yeah, I guess it does fit on my nails now, but when they were at their longest, I found that it did not fit, and I just never did it. However, I have used this plate similar to the last one. I used it for one that I did not buy it for, and it was for these baseball stitchings right here. I don't think I have any photos of that, but every summer my dad takes me to a Tigers game at the stadium. They're in Detroit, and I always try to do baseball or Tigers themed nails, and so I used that. Up next, I have something from a brand called Messy Mansion, and I've never heard of this brand. I bought somebody's collection a long time ago. Not a long time ago, it was a year and a half ago at this point. And this was in her collection, and I ended up getting rid of a bunch of stamping plates from it. But this is one I hung on to, and I hung on to it specifically for this brain image, and I have used it. You might recognize it. It is my profile picture, both here and on Instagram, that pink manicure. It's a brain manicure that I did, and I was like obsessed with it. I loved it. And I just didn't use the rest of it. I can't foresee myself ever using the rest of it, but I continue to hang on to it because I love this brain image. And I don't really recreate manicures that often, but I'm tempted to, for Halloween, recreate that one. So here's one that I have used once before, maybe actually a couple times. I think I've used a lot of the images on here because this was one of the first stamping plates I bought. This is another Bundle Monster. It's XL134. You can see this is the old Maniology here. But I was intrigued by this particular plate because I liked these kind of like Star Trek insignias down here in a strip. Never used them. I have never once used those. I probably could and should, but I bought this plate solely for that, and I've used this up in the corner. I think I do have photos of that manicure. And I have also used these aliens, and that was, I think, my very first Instagram post. And in posting that, I got, at that time, what I thought was like a lot of likes, and that really encouraged me to keep posting on Instagram. I got a really good confidence booster from that, and so this plate kind of has fond memories because of that. And I really do want to use this, like maybe like a bright neon green against black or white. So, but I never had any interest in anything in the center. I still don't, but these kind of more geometric designs and the aliens and even the stars I really like. So this is a Maniology plate. I think this is a more recent purchase, and I bought this plate specifically for this like full nail design, and it's a bunch of hearts that just say no in it. This is like a Valentine's Day plate where like the left side is like cutesy lovey-dovey stuff, and the right side is like kind of like anti-Valentine's Day type stuff. And if you flip it over, like you can have like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So I liked this plate. And I wanted to kind of do some more seasonal manicures, which is why I bought it, but specifically I wanted this particular design. I have, as you can tell from the acetone smears all over it, I have used this. You may have seen, did I post this on Instagram? I think I posted this on Instagram. If not, I'm going to throw it up anyways. I did a full stamping mani in February with this plate. I used a ton of the designs and I really enjoyed it. I will definitely be reusing this plate. That is something I'll talk about at the end, is like the reusability of plates. I mean, obviously they're all reusable, but I'm talking about from a personal standpoint. So we'll talk about that at the end. But yeah, I really do like this plate and I will reuse it. Next up, I have two Maniology plates that I have never used. And I know I've never used them because I pulled the blue plastic off like 2 seconds before I filmed this. So, oops, my bad. I bought these pretty recently though, so you know, within the last 6 months, that's recent. I bought this plate specifically for this moth image. If you know me, I'm a bug queen. I love bugs. So I really wanted this image, and I figured I would just make the rest of it work. I didn't really care about the rest of it, but I love bug stamping images, and so I bought this plate specifically for this image. And then the other plate that I have never used is this like Ouija board or Ouija board. I guess I still don't know how to say that. Again, there were some bugs on here, but I didn't even notice that when I was first buying it. I wanted it specifically for these, how do you say, is it a planchette? Like the thing that you move around the board. I didn't even care about like the board imagery itself. I literally just liked the planchette. And then I realized like, well, how are you gonna, what are you going to stamp that with if not the rest of the board stuff? So still haven't done anything with this one. Probably around Halloween I will, because it does have a lot of good Halloween imagery. Although, is it Hanny's Manny's, I think on Instagram, did a completely matte look with this particular plate, and it really sucked me in. And so like that was initially what brought my attention to this plate in the first place. And now looking at it, I kind of like this little skeleton guy. So yeah, I will be doing something with this for Halloween. And then the last plate is too big. I'd have to zoom really far out and then you wouldn't be able to see everything. But this is from a brand called Fab Your Nails, or like Fun, I think is the acronym there. I got this when I bought that whole collection, and while I like Sanrio and Hello Kitty and all that, my favorite character is a newer character in the Sanrio lineup. So a lot of the old stuff doesn't have it. My favorite character is Gudetama, the egg guy. But my boyfriend's favorite character is Keroppi. He loves frogs. He loves anything to do with frogs, and turtles to a lesser extent. But like when I see a frog, I immediately think of my boyfriend, and he loves Keroppi. And there's never enough good Keroppi merch. So this whole plate, this entire, you can see this is like one of those big chunky plates. Like in comparison to a Maniology plate, it's much bigger. Like these are hard to store. It's a huge pain. This whole plate has one single Keroppi image, and I saved it for that one image. I feel like that's insane, but it reminds me of my boyfriend, and I think it's cute, and I want to do like a full Keroppi manicure someday. Keyword someday, but yeah. So yeah, like I said, it was a lot easier to get away with buying a whole plate when it was just these little circle guys, because these were really inexpensive, like a couple bucks. And, I could justify buying it for one image because they weren't super cohesive, so I didn't really have to think of like a grand scheme of things. I'd be like, oh, I can do one Manny surrounding this and one Manny surrounding that, and I'll figure it out later. And because they were so cheap, like I said, like it didn't feel like it was as big of a deal. But the Maniology plates, these are like $8 or $9, I think. And I just have found myself learning the lesson that if you only like one image, or if you only like a couple images even, the reusability is not going to be there as much as if you liked everything. So for this one, I managed to do, I think, at least 2 separate manicures. I've used the stars in other manicures, and I know I can use this for a different manicure, and they're all going to look distinctly different. And that's what I personally want when it comes to stamping plates. I want distinct manicures because I don't want to be doing the same manicure over and over again. And I have a hard time being creative when it comes to color and placement and stuff like that. So I know myself, and it's like I'm going to do the same manicure over and over and over again. And I'm not going to be able to use my brain in a creative way to kind of mix it up and change it up. And that's not the plate's fault. That's not the design's fault. That's just the way my brain works. My brain is very organized, and once I see something one way, it's really hard for me to break free of that pattern and do something a different way. I've been folding my clothes the same way for like 15 years. I can't do it a different way because it gives me anxiety. I'm just a one-track kind of person. So like something like this, I can see like, oh, if I wanted to do 5 nails, I would like use all 4 of these and then probably this one and do 5 different full hand designs. Nothing really creative about that. And I would probably just do it the exact same way again and again and again. So for me, this is not necessarily as reusable in my brain as this plate was, because like I said, I could do several different looking manicures and feel good about it. But at the same time, I do love the Maniology plates because they really are cohesive in design. And so for this one, I feel like I could get really creative with it because I could spell out tons of different stuff and it could be different every time. And with the like Valentine's Day plate, I found that there are a lot of designs. You could use one of these as an accent nail and then not even use the other designs on other nails. That's another thing. Like you can get a lot of longevity on a plate by just doing like 1 or 2 accent nails. So you could get, like, if you use these full design images, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have like 6 different accent nails right there that you could do 6 different Valentine's Day manicures and they would all look different. So it's one of those things that I just have to break myself out of and know that I can repeat manicures if I want. Like, that's the whole point of these plates. That's why they're reusable. But for me personally, I know myself and I'm not a big repeater when it comes to designs and colors and things like that. And so I need to stop buying plates for one image. I think that this is probably the one that has served me the best out of all these plates. And this is like probably the least cohesive of all the Maniology types. And it's still like all of this is sci-fi. So I don't know. Let me know down below, you guys, what is your trick to break free from only using one image or buying a plate for one image or something like that? Because I have found myself more and more just trying to not buy plates at all because I'm just worried that I'm falling into that trap again. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Like I said, let me know down below, have you ever fallen into the trap of buying a plate for a single image? Or is there a plate that you guys use like repeatedly over and over again, like couldn't live without? Because I don't really have a plate like that. And maybe I need to do a little bit more playing around with my stamping plates. But anyways, that's going to be it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.